Well, now, I have in front of us the dragonfly that we drew from the other video, and I also have a medium that I don't normally use, at least in my current art, and it is colored pencils. Colored pencils are something that A.M. Snyder from Snyder's Sunshine Art Studio dreads most of the time when I'm teaching students, because with colored pencils, they are usually tapped by students, roll off a table, and hit the floor. And from what I recently understood from something I heard, which I honestly didn't know before, is that all of the pigment that's in here, the solid component that's in here that we use to color with, gets broken inside the casing, the wooden casing. And therefore, when we go to sharpen them, they always are breaking. So if you have the typical store-bought colored pencils like Crayola or Rose Art, and you tap them or let them roll and hit the floor, that's the issue with them breaking. And you have to constantly sharpen them, not to a point, because usually when they get to a point, that's the section that breaks off. Now, I say that, and I know that that's not always the case. But no matter what, I don't like colored pencils for the ultimate reason that you have to constantly be sharpening them. And that's noisy, and especially if you have a class full of students who are using colored pencils, it's constant sharpening and it takes up a lot of time. But because you are watching this with me, it's not a class full of students, and you can sharpen your pencil whenever you need to. Most likely they're sharpened already, so they'll probably last you for this particular drawing. Here's the other note I have for you. These are Prismacolor pencils. They're a higher quality pencil. These are the pencils I've used since I've been in college. Now, I've taught art for 20, 21, 22 years, and I was in college over 25 years ago, maybe even longer ago if I think about it. But anyway, these are the color pencils I understood and I used. And then I know recently there's some other quality pencils out there, but you'll have to pay more for them because they're better quality. They're softer than the store-bought ones as well. So they're smoother when you color with them as well. Now that I've explained all of that with colored pencils, I'm actually going to use them to color in the Dragonfly. Normally I use crayon, and there will be times when I use watercolor, because I enjoy watercolor as well as a coloring agent. I don't have a vast background in watercolor. I just kind of learned on my own. Alright, so here we go. I have some broken little points in there, and they're kind of messing me up, so I'll move them out of there. And I'm going to color in this Dragonfly. Now, I am debating what color to use. I really want to use green and blue for some reason. So I'm just going to go with that and color it in. I have green, right? And now here's the other thing about crayons and colored pencils on top of Sharpie. All those black lines get kind of faded out when we color over them. It's impossible for me to go inside and color between the lines, as well as I'm sure for you. So we're just going to have to go with it, and if it really bothers us, we just draw back over it. Now, if you're watching this and you are a skilled colorer and you understand how not to have that happen, by all means leave me a comment and teach me something. I'd be happy to learn from anybody who wants to teach me something. I'm all about learning new information to make me better as an instructor, as an artist, as a human being for that matter. Alright, so I have it green, and now I'm going to take yellow, and I'm going to use it on the highlighted area, and it's going to blend it out and make it yellow-green. Green is a secondary color. Yellow-green is a tertiary color. Tertiary colors are colors that are made with a primary and a secondary. There are 6 of them, and usually the primary color is said before the secondary color. So yellow, green, yellow is the primary, green is the secondary color. And they're made based off the colors that are surrounding it on a color wheel. Alright. Now I'm debating about its head. I'm going to go back and color it green. And then I'm going to add some yellow, just like I did on its body. And I'm going to add some blue, because I like the idea of the blue-green. I read that because this says violet blue, and this says violet. So I don't have a dark blue in my container, so I'm going to go with this light blue. The other thing about Prismacolors is that I know that at the local Michael's craft store, an art store, and when I was in college, you could go to the store where they're sold, and they have these pencils in little slots. So they have all the blues together, all the yellows together, and then variations of those colors, and you just buy one pencil. You can buy whatever colors you need or want. And there's so many more colors out there, and that's always a wonderful thing to add to our drawings when we want to represent the world around us, because there are lots of colors in our world. I'm just amazed at the amount of colors in our world. It's beautiful. And now I'm going to color in its eyes. I'm going to actually use the blue violet here. Again, blue violet is a tertiary color. And I'm going to add blue on top of it, just like I did with the yellow, to give it a little bit of a highlighting effect. Okay, now I'm going to use the blue for its wings here. We could just leave them white, and I think that I will leave part of it white. So I just blend it out lighter, lighter. So we have a darker value, we press harder, and we have less pressure to make it a lighter value. Now the interesting challenge I have is that this bush back here is going to be green, because that just makes sense as a bush. And then the lily pads are green. So my dragonfly could possibly be super camouflaged here, blending in with its environment to protect it. So I have to make some decisions about how to color these in so that it does not disappear in our drawing. Now, I did originally make one of these and color it. I colored it with warmer colors so that it would stand out. But I didn't do it for this one. Okay, now I'm going to go down to this rock here, because I always like to share a story about how my students have colored pencils rarely, and sometimes they want to use gray, and I'm like, okay, there's no gray color pencil. Whatever color pencils we have at school, there's no gray pencil. I'm like, you do have your typical writing pencil, and it's gray. So there you go. I'm just going to color this rock in. I'm going to use the side of the pencil because it's wider and it's smoother that way. compared to using the point, which is a narrow line. It makes it look itchy scratchy. And I'm just going to color in our rock down here. And I'm going to leave a highlight, which means I'm not going to color that in because the light is hitting it. I'll do it over here and here. Okay, so let's go into some browns here. I have this light brown, and this is the dirt bank where the grasses are hanging over, and then the water is below. So that will break up the idea of this being camouflaged with the background. Okay, now I could take my gray pencil and add on top of that to darken it, but I happen to have a dark green, so I'm going to use it. Did I say dark green? I think I did. It's dark brown. I don't know. You can go back and find out on the video for me. I'll let it stay. I already just said. If I said dark green, I meant to say dark brown. But if I said dark brown, I'm all good, right? Okay. Okay. So, now I mentioned about how I'm trying to make sure this does not blend in. And I have these bushes back here. My first thought is to shade the bushes black. But I have a feeling it's going to be too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually shade them blue. Yeah, let's do that. No, do I want to do, yeah. Oh, it's a great debate. Alright, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, I'm going to make this area blue. I was thinking about the wings when I said that, and I made that choice. But I think it'll be fine. We'll find out together. Now, as a side note, and I should always say this up front, you don't have to color the way I'm coloring it. You can color whatever way you want. It's your drawing, so keep that in mind. Alright, so now I have the dark green. I'm going to put that on top of the blue here. I'm going to press. And we're going to see what it looks like. And then if I need to, I can manipulate it even more. Alright, so how's that look? And the dragonfly still stands out, so we're going to keep it going here. Great. Alright, now this right here, I happen to have a yellow green. It says apple green, but it's a yellow green. And I'm going to color that in here. You can see it's yellow green. Look at that. Okay, and now I'm going to put some brown into it. And that will create a different take on it. Because I'm not coloring it solid. With the itchy, scratchy, zigzaggy line, gives it some texture, which breaks it up. Great. Alright, I have the lily pads. And again, I actually am going to color them yellow. And then I'm going to put green on top of it. So let's see what this looks like. Yellow lily pads. Should have put some tall grass in here now that I think about it. those are the things we think of as we continue. We get more ideas. And then we want to draw a new picture and add those ideas. Or tweak this one and try to put it in there. It's kind of the struggles and challenges of artists, because our brains, I guess I have to talk for myself because I don't know what other artists think. But for myself, my brain's always thinking of how can I do this and that, and how can I improve what I'm doing, and how can I make it different and better and make it look more like my own instead of like somebody else's. And in today's world, I do find that to be more of a challenge. There's so much content out there that it's like, how can I make mine stand out? How can it be more original? How can it be personal? How can it be mine? But you know what? Even though that stuff is swarming around in my head, I believe that it all gets worked out. I really do. And in the end, all that matters is that I like what I have. That's all that really matters. And that I enjoy the process. And if I didn't enjoy the process, then I needed to figure out how to make it so that I enjoy it, right? Okay, so now I colored this water in blue, and I'm going to get that purple. All right, this is a blue violet. Oh, it's a blue violet. And I'm going to add some of these more moving lines. Lovely. Oh, the colors are so lovely. All right. Now I have the sky. I have this grass down here too. I guess I could color that in. You don't have to. I will though. When I'm thinking about the sky, in my other drawing, the original one I did, I made it blue because I know most of us just think the sky is always blue. But we do know also that sun setting, sun rising, variations and so on add to the sky to make it multiple colors. It can be so many different colors. And that is just another remarkable thing about our planet that I enjoy a lot. There's so many wonderful things about our planet. It's just amazing. Just take the time and look outside at the beauty that's out there. And try focus on the beauty. Keep that in mind. Focus on the beauty to make sure our lives are a little more enjoyable. I'm thinking I want to make that sky yellow and red. And that will create a great contrast against this green that's dominating the picture. That's already looking bright. Add some red. I'm thinking if I was in this picture, it would seem so peaceful. It really would. Even though there's a dragonfly, a flying bug, I don't think they make a lot of noise. There's something very calm and still and reflective about this environment. Well, before I end, I started off saying about how the color pencils kind of fade the black lines. So you can always take your Sharpies back in there and draw over it very carefully to sharpen them up, in essence. make those black lines more crisp, or simply leave it be, because as I am looking at it, it doesn't look at all terrible. It looks fine. So you make the choice. Alright, A.M. Snyder here, so very thankful that you joined me yet again in a video on how to draw a bug. Yeah, how to draw anything. I enjoy drawing, and I appreciate that you join me so I can share my enjoyment with you. Hopefully I've shined some creativity into your day, especially with color, and some new insights into your art learning. Again, this is a mini series to invite you to check out my how to draw fun bugs step by step, especially for kids, but it doesn't have to be, at my website, SnyderSunshineArtStudio.com. Please take a look and see if that would be something that you'd be interested in, especially since you joined me for this video. Alright, until next time, bye bye.